Hello guys, welcome to Football Roundup. I guess today we'll start talking about Liverpool again, just absolutely dominating their opponents. This time it just happened to be Southampton. 4-0 result that doesn't really tell the whole story, but it just goes to show that even when Liverpool has a bad day, they're still way better than their opponents. The amount of teamwork that they have, the amount of selflessness. I know Salah got a little bit of heat last game, being a little bit too selfish. It looks like Klopp might have had a few words with him and told him, hey, if you give the pass, it'll help out the team, and we're here to win as a team. The individual records will come. Salah may be feeling a little pressure to deliver based off his magnificent season that he had, but it's just clear that Liverpool's going to win the league. I was looking at the table, and it's just unbelievable that they have 24 wins and 1 draw, still undefeated. I guess the biggest challenge for them now is just the Champions League. I don't even think they're worried about winning the Premier League at this point. There's really no team that's going to beat them. And even if they do beat them, even if they get 1 loss, it doesn't matter. They're just so far ahead of everyone else. It's unbelievable. And, the closest team to them was Manchester City. Now, on to Manchester City. They had a big game this weekend against Tottenham. So we had a big match of Guardiola versus Mourinho. 2 very different styles of play coming from the managers. And it looked like Manchester City was going to win. They were clearly the better team. They were dominating left and right, just nonstop shots and chances. But it was one of those games where if you don't finish your chances, you give your team 1 chance and they will punish you. And that's pretty much what happened. I mean, so many chances missed. I mean, we had Gundogan missing open shots, bouncing it off the defender instead of placing it, and then to top it all off, a very controversial penalty taken by Gundogan that was saved by Lloris. The whole VAR situation's really become a problem in the Premier League. At least it seems like they are the only league that doesn't know how to use their technology to the best of their abilities. I mean, the play had gone on for a while and the ref just stops the game. No one knows what's going on. He just turns, points, penalty. Mourinho had a laugh. He thought it was pretty funny, the whole situation. But we all know he was really, really frustrated. Basically going to have a rant about it after the game.
If the ball doesn't go out, the ball doesn't go out. So if the ball doesn't go out for 3 minutes or 10 minutes, you have to play. And then when the ball is out, the decisions are to make. But the right decisions. Not the wrong decisions. I thought I was going to love VAR. That was my initial feeling. I like the truth. And the VAR is too many mistakes.
But luckily, Lloris saved it. Man City kept trying, kept pushing. Aguero had a couple chances that just couldn't get in, whether they were blocked by defenders or they were too close and he just couldn't put them away. Unbelievable. And then we had the youngster from Tottenham making his debut, and what a goal he made. I mean, it was pretty much it was out of nowhere. I mean, the kid brings the ball down and just volleys it, doesn't let it bounce. No one expecting it. Far post. Goalie couldn't save it. It was pretty much over at that point. And then to top it all off, Zinchenko gets the red card for a second yellow. It was a little bit harsh, but I mean, any other point in the game, it's yellow. So the ref gives a yellow. He ends up with a red card. Man City down to 10 men. And then just to top it all off, Son, one of my favorite players, just puts it away. Took a big deflection to go in, but hey, goal's a goal. You can see how much it meant to Tottenham. You can see how much it meant to Mourinho. Just having a chat with all his players. A solid performance in terms of defensive work. From Tottenham, they had to block a lot of shots to defenders. Even though they were still broken down a lot, they just couldn't take advantage of their chances. Tottenham did what they had to do, and ended up with the win. Unfortunately, Sterling got taken off. Looked like he might have got a bit of an injury. Hopefully he's fine. It might just be fatigue, but we'll see. Now over in Spain, big game over there. Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid. Looks like Real is really going for the title this year. This was one of their big games in the lead up to El Clasico, and they just pulled it off. It looks like Simeone needs to evolve tactically, because at a certain point, so much pressure being put on your defenders, And with the talent that Real Madrid has up front to score, you're going to get scored on. And one of the most reliable players that Real Madrid has had, Benzema, of course, sealing it in. A beautiful pass by Mendy, beautiful play. Vinicius setting up Mendy for that pass, for that goal. It was just, it was just enough to seal the win. Now, Barcelona had to respond to that because they're still trying to fight for this title as well. And even though they did drop points earlier, they know that they have to win these crucial games. And it kind of looked almost like a passing of the torch moment. Honestly, Messi having a great game, but being more of a provider this game and assisting Ansu Fati, who, has had a great start to his young career, and being able to seal those 2 goals, being able to, give Barcelona this very important win. Levante were able to knock a goal back in, but it wasn't enough. Messi had a man of the match performance. It was unbelievable. It's just so great to see a young, exciting prospect coming into Barcelona, because we all know Messi doesn't have that long, of a playing career left. And now, speaking of another player that doesn't have a lot of time left in his great, illustrious career, we go over to Italy. Juventus, a very crucial 3-0 win over Fiorentina. Now, Ronaldo had a solid game, scored 2 penalties, and, a lot of people might not think that's a big deal, but you have to score those penalties. I was just talking earlier about Gundogan missing that penalty and how crucial that might have been for his team. Ronaldo sealing those 2 away, along with Matthijs de Ligt at the end, scoring a great header assisted by Dybala. De Ligt finally looking like a solid starter for this team that has very great defenders. Very, very solid teammates that could fill that position, and De Ligt is definitely learning a lot from Bonucci, from Chiellini. He's taking advantage of this moment, and hopefully he'll be a great player for years to come for Juventus. Now, during this transfer window, there hasn't really been that many big blockbuster moves. Bruno Fernandes going to Manchester United. Now, that did happen, and well, what do you know? Of course he made a difference. United just lacking absolute creativity in the middle of the field. Bruno comes in, makes an impact, wants the ball, wants to look for a player, wants to take a shot, wants to be involved. The game ended goalless. Wolves couldn't really find any clear chances. It looked like the only way to stop Adama Traore was to foul him. They did what they could. They got a draw, and it just looks like Ole is basically just hanging on for dear life. I think everybody around the club just knows it's only a matter of time before they move on and pursue a new manager that might give them a better chance to fight again for the league, and as well as getting into the Champions League, and then beginning that process of becoming a big club again and reinstating their position as one of the top clubs in the world. We all know that they still are one of the top clubs in the world in terms of history and also in terms of a fan base. But if you're not getting victories, if you're not competing at the highest level, it really becomes a downward spiral for them. Thank you guys for watching this week's football roundup, and I'll see you guys next time.